Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Eli Villamontes, and I'm proud to serve as the CEO of Entergy Texas. Today is an exciting day for our company, but more importantly, today marks a significant milestone for Southeast Texas. We're here to celebrate the start of construction on not one, but two new highly efficient generation facilities, the Legend and Lone Star power stations. It's great to see so many of our partners and community leaders here to celebrate with us. I'd like to take a moment to recognize a few of our distinguished guests. Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Public Utility Commission of Texas Commissioners Kathleen Jackson and Courtney Jaltman. TCEQ Commissioner Catarina Gonzalez. And the many state and local officials in the audience today, and members of Entergy's senior leadership team, including Chairman and CEO Drew Marsh. Thank you all for being here today and your continued support. I also want to recognize our partners who are helping us bring these projects to life. That includes our engineering and construction consortium, Mitsubishi Power, Kiewit, and Sargent and Lundy. Your expertise and collaboration are critical to delivering these projects safely and successfully. To our industrial customers and partners across the Gulf Coast, including here today, companies like Sempra, Kinder Morgan, Optimus Steel, Chevron Phillips Chemical, and more. Thank you for your support. We couldn't do this without you. Your continued investment in this region is helping drive the need for investments like these. And finally, I want to recognize our dedicated Entergy employees. Your genuine commitment to our customers and communities makes progress like this possible. Over the past several years, you've heard us say countless times that Southeast Texas is growing. Well, today we're not just talking about the growth, we're demonstrating what it looks like. Growth at this scale doesn't call for just one power plant, it calls for two. That tells you a lot about the strength of this region and where it's headed. Families continue to move here, businesses continue to expand, and industrial development along the Gulf Coast continues to accelerate. This kind of growth requires planning. It requires long-term investment, and it requires action. And that's exactly what today represents. In 2024, Entergy Texas introduced our Southeast Texas Energy Plan, known as Step Ahead. Today, we celebrate bringing part of that plan to life. Legend and Lone Star are key parts of our commitment to providing 24/7 dispatchable generation. Together, they are capable of generating enough electricity to power more than 300,000 homes. And these projects also bring meaningful economic benefits to the region, generating about $2.7 billion in total economic activity and supporting more than 9,000 construction jobs. That's real impact for real people in this region. Just a few days ago, not too far from here, I had the privilege of pressing the button for the first fire on the combustion turbine at our Orange County Advanced Power Station in Bridge City. That 1,200 megawatt facility is expected to come online later this year, and we're really proud of that. And with Legend and Lone Star, we're on track to adding more than 2.4 gigawatts of new generation within the next 2 years. That's a big deal. And even with that progress, we're still planning ahead. Earlier this year, we issued a request for proposals for another combined cycle power plant to service customers beginning in 2032. And that's reliable power built right here in Texas for Texans. We're also making major investments to strengthen the backbone of our system. We're upgrading transmission lines and building new ones to ensure reliable power can reach fast-growing communities. That includes 4 major high-voltage projects, including 2 500 kV transmission lines across our service area. And at the same time, we continue to invest in resiliency. We've started construction on numerous projects in our multi-year resiliency plan, and we've secured both federal and state funding, including from the Texas Energy Fund, to protect our communities from extreme weather. And as we make these investments, we remain focused on delivering a strong customer experience. In fact, for the second year in a row, Entergy Texas is ranked number 1 by J.D. Power for business customer satisfaction in our region. And that recognition reflects the trust our customers place in us every day. At Entergy, we believe our success is closely tied to the success of our communities. Investments like these help ensure that our region and the state of Texas continues to grow and thrive. It is now my honor to introduce someone who has played a key role in driving this momentum. Under his leadership, Texas continues to attract businesses, create jobs, and invest in energy infrastructure that keeps our state strong and competitive. That commitment is a big reason Texas remains open for business and continues to lead as the energy capital of the world. Please join me in welcoming the governor of the great state of Texas, Greg Abbott.
Thank you very much for the very warm welcome, and a very special thank you to L.A.V. Montes, both for his introduction, but also for what he's doing to lead Entergy, which also helps to literally lead the state of Texas. One thing he talked about a lot was the economic impact that is occurring here in Southeast Texas, as well as the economic impact that Entergy is providing for that economic growth. And that's exactly why I'm here. Listen, today is an enormous day for Entergy, but people need to understand this is an equally enormous day for the state of Texas and the future of Texas. So this is a landmark event that I and the state of Texas are so very proud to be a part of. I, too, want to join what Ellie did in recognizing our members here who are here from state agencies that are heavily involved, to say essential really, in projects like this. We have 2 of our commissioners from the Public Utilities Commission, as well as a commissioner from the Texas Commission on Environmental Equality. I want to thank them again, but also point out that, for one, they understand the imperative, in fact, the urgency of their task, because they know that the ability for Texas to grow, the ability for Texas to deliver electrical power to homes as well as to businesses is dependent in part on their ability to act swiftly, to grant the permitting process, to make the decisions that are needed to make sure that massive facilities like this are going to be built. So I just, as governor, I want to thank my appointees to the PUC and to the Texas Commission on Environmental Equality for what they do to help Texas grow fast. There's a lot that's done in the state as it concerns the expansion of power, and a lot of it is done through legislation that reaches the governor's desk. I want to thank the local state representative, Kristen Manuel, as well as your future Senator Brett Leggin, for being here. And thank you all both. Let me make something very clear. Texas is the undisputed energy leader in the United States of America. Texas generates more electric power generation than any other state in America. So much so, Texas generates more than twice the amount of the second and third states combined. There you go. With projects like this, of course, that lead is just going to continue. Texas ranks number one for the most oil and gas production, number one for the wind power generation, number one for utility scale solar and battery storage. It doesn't matter what type of power exists, Texas is the national leader in providing power to our citizens and to our businesses that call Texas home. I'm here today because today we are expanding that leadership by breaking ground on these two new massive power generation stations. They will add 1,200 megawatts of power. To translate that into English, enough power to generate power for more than 300,000 homes in this area. And as Ellie pointed out, this has a multi-billion-dollar economic impact, and thousands of jobs are being added and good-paying jobs provided under the construction process and then the operation of this business. And I want you to know something else. There are people here in this room, people across the state, who may still remember what happened in Winter Storm Uri 5 years ago. What people don't know enough about is how much power the state of Texas has added in just the past 5 years. Just since Winter Storm Uri, the state of Texas has added 61,000 megawatts of power. Again, to translate that, in just the past 5 years, we've added enough power to power 12 million homes in the state of Texas. We added in the past 5 years more power than most states have in the United States of America in their entire grids. We also are working to protect the power that we already have. I've signed laws that enhance reliability and resilience of the power grid, especially during natural disasters, laws that strengthen our grid infrastructure, and laws that support long-term power generation to keep pace with economic growth. Speaking of economic growth, Entergy is a part of the massive economic growth that we have in the state of Texas. Already, Texas ranks number one in the United States for the most new jobs, number one for the most economic development projects, number one for the expansion of our economy. Listen, the Texas economy, if you look at our gross domestic product, it is approaching $3 trillion a year. Put differently, there are now only 7 countries in the world with an economy larger than Texas. You got the United States, obviously, China, India, Japan, the UK, Germany, and France. And with the way things are going, among them, Texas probably is growing more rapidly than any other. And one of these days, we will soon be surpassing France. And when we do that, we'll come back here to Port Arthur and have a big French fry cook-off celebrating quite literally, the future of America depends on power generation. No state provides more power generation than the great state of Texas. And we thank Entergy for investing in our state and for powering our future. Please join me in thanking Entergy for everything it's doing for the great state of Texas.
Thank you, Governor Abbott. We appreciate your leadership and your continued focus on building a stronger Texas and empowering a brighter energy future. Really appreciate it. One more hand for Governor Abbott. Next, I would like to introduce the Chairman and CEO of Entergy Corporation, Drew Marsh. Since stepping into his role in 2022, Drew has led Entergy through a period of meaningful growth and investment. His leadership and support have been instrumental in advancing projects like the ones we are celebrating here today. Please join me in welcoming Drew Marsh.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here as we celebrate the groundbreaking for Legend and Lone Star. It's great to be back here in Southeast Texas for another major milestone. As Ellie was mentioning not long ago, many of us were here. We stood together for the OCAP's groundbreaking, and today represents the next step in that momentum. We're grateful for the support of Governor Abbott, the Public Utility Commission of Texas, Commissioners Jackson and Yaltman, who are here today, Commissioner Gonzalez from the TCEQ. All of us are important providers and partners in helping the state continue to be a place where people want to build, grow, and invest. I want to thank our incredible team here at Entergy, who also helped make this possible. And together, we are powering life. Entergy's roots in this region run deep. Long before Entergy Texas existed, Gulf States Utilities was headquartered just down the road here in Beaumont. And it was building and operating the energy infrastructure that powered families and businesses and industries and was driving economic growth here across Southeast Texas. That's a century-long history of service and the foundation upon which we're building today here with Legend and Lone Star. At Entergy, as I mentioned, our vision is together we power life. And we place our stakeholders in a deliberate order: our customers, our employees, our communities, and then our owners. Because everything we do begins with customers. And when we serve them well, our employees succeed, our communities grow stronger, and our owners benefit. When you look at Southeast Texas today, our stakeholders are on a remarkable run. Families are putting down roots, businesses are expanding, industrial customers are investing. The region has the workforce, the infrastructure, the community support, and the global market access to make it one of the most dynamic places anywhere in the world. But none of that growth is possible, as the governor mentioned, without a strong energy foundation. Growth starts with affordable, reliable power, and that's why we're here today. Legend and Lone Star will provide the modern dispatchable generation needed to support the region's expanding population and economy. By building new local generation, we strengthen reliability for customers, reduce vulnerability during extreme weather, and lessen dependence on outside markets at the moments when customers are most exposed. These units will operate the most advanced technology available today, highly efficient and exceptionally reliable. They are also future-proof, with hydrogen and carbon capture compatibility in mind. That means as those options become viable, our customers will already be positioned to benefit. Building here in Texas matters, and it deserves more emphasis. When we add local generation with modern efficiency, we help make fuel costs lower, and we fund local schools and communities. We also protect customers from future market swings, we improve the reliability and resilience of our grid, and we help the local economy of Southeast Texas stay strong. These are real long-term benefits, and they reinforce the communities of Southeast Texas. Importantly, these projects continue a partnership between the employees at Entergy and the communities we serve. The people who build these plants and operate them and keep the lights on live here. They raise their families here. They have powered this region for more than a century, and they will power it for the century ahead. Texas has always been a place that looks forward when global supply chains are shifting, when industries are expanding, and when the world is searching for reliable energy solutions. As the governor very eloquently highlighted, Texas stands out. Legend and Lone Star reinforce that leadership and help ensure that Southeast Texas remains one of the premier economic regions in the world. Thank you all for being here today. We look forward to getting the shovels in the ground and doing our part to power the life for families, businesses, and communities of this region, today and for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. And thank you again to everyone that joined us here today to celebrate this important milestone. I'd also like to express my gratitude to the many Entergy employees and vendors that worked behind the scenes to make today's event possible. Thank you. At this time, I invite all of you to join us outside of the tent for the ceremonial groundbreaking. Thank you again for being here, and safe travels home.